field back block, and that's
the guy that rolls his body around.
Mic Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
Every day here on Mic Drop Sports. We truly appreciate it, my friends. Just getting everything set up here, as we always do. Yes. Sorry, guys. I wanted to set the screen up how I had it earlier, but we'll get there. But good to see everybody in the chat. We will get it all going here. Comments, what's up? Hey, guys, I need to see if I have audio here. It doesn't sound like I do, so let me check my audio. There we go. I think now it's better. Okay. I think we're rolling now, guys, but welcome back to the live show. Appreciate y'all. Steel City Live. Let's weld. Absolutely. Put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. We truly, truly appreciate that. Yeah, all good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. But we are going to dive in. I want to talk about a few surprises today that could be potentially part of the Pittsburgh Steelers roster in 2025. So I do want to dive in on some of those players, some of which I talked about earlier, but we will get some of your comments, questions, and concerns with that on those players and talk about that. What's up, Big JD? What's up, Armand? Good to see you. Hey, JD, I increased the font so I can increase it farther. Let me know if that's better, though, or if you guys would want it a little bit bigger on the live chat that's on the side of the screen, on the side of me in the video. So let me know. Also, guys, next Wednesday, I want to make a couple announcements here before we move on. If you're not watching it live, you can watch this once it uploads. But we are going to next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have some special guests. I'll be joined for sure by Big B from Steelers Almighty. And maybe Big G. We'll see if he wants to come over too. I don't know. He might be busy. But we're going to do a State of the AFC North type of show next Wednesday for you guys. That will be our first guest ever on the new format that we are using here at Mic Drop Sports. So we are going to bring those guys over, or at least Big B for sure. And we are going to dive in and talk a little bit about the state of the AFC North, what it looks like here ahead of all these off-season workouts and ahead of this summer, before we get to training camps, before we get to the OTAs, the mini camps, all that bullshit, before we get to all of that stuff here, we're going to dive in and talk about some of the good moves that have been made in the AFC North, some of the bad moves that have been made in the AFC North, and where your Pittsburgh Steelers stand inside of this division and what could possibly be the outcome moving forward for them and all that good shit. And we'll get into all of your comments, questions, and concerns too. Wave that terrible towel for Miss P. What's up, Miss P? Good to see you guys. Stephen Carpenter. Yeah, we did that one. Good to see you guys. Definitely good to see you. Make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat. We'll definitely welcome those. And we are going to start off, though, again, make sure you tune in next Wednesday. That'll be an action-packed show. And then all of our regular content will be going on next week also. But we'll also be going into a little bit of a dead period when you get through that mandatory session in June and you head through July, leading up to training camp. That'll be a little bit of a dead period. So we'll probably a little bit more sporadic with our shows. We probably won't go live every single day during that month because I'll be going on vacation during that time. We'll probably go live about 3 times a week during that time. So that 1 month, about a month or so period there, right before you hit training camp will be when we kind of just slow down just a little bit. And then we'll ramp back up for training camp and really hammer the content. But again, here we are, man. Don't forget, man, make sure you guys are liking and sharing the show. I want to know your thoughts on these players, too. I did a show earlier talking about some of these players, but I want to dive in here on the live show with it. And again, we will do your comments and questions and all that good stuff. But I want to talk about these players again. And I want to start with Rock Taylor, the wide receiver. I've had comments asking about, has he had trouble? I've not heard or saw any real reports stating that he was like trouble or anything like that. So I can't say that he is. But one thing that I thought was weird, there are 3 different listings for this guy's height. I have seen 6'1", 6'2", and 6'3". Makes that it's craziness. Like, what is he? 3 inches is vastly different if you ask me. But we'll call him 6'2". We'll stay in the middle, man. We'll stay in the middle. That'll be where we be. What's up, Jay? DJ Thomas Jones was the cat I was talking about yesterday, potentially taking Connor Hayward's spot. Yeah, that's the one that I did a little research on. And I like him, man. I definitely like him. I would not mind him, Jay. And we will dive into him. He will be the 3rd one on the list that we're going to talk about tonight. And again, during this whole time, guys, we'll be able to field your comments and all that stuff, do all that good shit. But we're going to kind of just go in order on this list, and then we'll break off into little side conversations as we always do. But let's start with Rock Taylor. That's the guy that I think, again, listed as, we'll call him 6'2", because there's been 3 different reports on his height. We'll call him about 215, 217, in between 215, 217, where he's listed most of the time here on the internet. And a guy that I definitely think out of the University of Memphis can do something. And the reason I say that, and what I have happy hopes for him, the real reason that I have happy hopes for him is this guy was the lead dog in Memphis his senior year, especially. His junior year, he caught for over 1,000 yards, and he was being the guy that was mostly guarded against. What's up, Mark? Yeah, dude. 6'1" and 7/8. I've seen that one. I've seen 6'2". I've seen 6'3". Yeah, I've seen them all, man. I've looked at tons of different things about him, and I've seen all the heights. So I don't believe any of them for sure. I'm going to be the judge of that when I go to training camp, and I know it's hard to tell between 6'2" or 6'3", but I'm going to judge it by my eye when I see him in person. I definitely am, because I'm like, what the hell? Why are they all so many different listings? But anyway, this is the guy that I really truly believe could do something immediate. And I say this why. This guy faced double teams a shit ton. And I know there's a little bit of a lack of production in touchdowns. I'm not really a big fan of that. I would love to see more touchdowns. But this guy was battling double teams down in, down out. And it showed me a lot about Rock Taylor. And he will work throughout the football game to create opportunity for himself. Almost 1,000 yards his senior season in 2024. Over 1,000 yards his junior year in 2023. And I got to say, I really think that with that variable alone, taking on double teams, taking a defense's best shot each and every week, schematically, really gives me a lot of high hope, because what does that tell you about him? It tells me that he got to be smart. It tells me he got to be strong. It tells me that he got to have a quick first step to get off of those double teams. It tells me that he has to have some moves. It tells me a lot about him whenever I'm looking at Rock Taylor. JD says the font is better, but if you can make it a little, I can go 2 more, and then I think it would be too big, but I can go 2 more. So we'll try 1 more on the next show, JD, and I think we might be perfecto, baby. What's up, Big Za? Glad you can join us on your break. We're talking a little Rock Taylor and some of these surprises that could be on the Steelers team. But if you look at Rock Taylor, man, and that was it. I seen it up there. He measured that at the combine. Suppose. Okay, Mark, I'll trust that one probably more than anything. Then, if that's what he measured at the combine, that's probably a little bit more accurate. We'll go with that. We'll call him 6'2", guys. That's what we'll call him because 6'1" and 7/8. We'll call him 6'2". So 22 years old, 6'2". Strong hands, guys. Strong guy. Can go up for those 50-50 balls, in my opinion. A guy that also worked doing what? He came to Memphis after he decommitted from Tennessee, after his offer, I think, got pulled, actually, after they had a head coaching change or a coaching change in general there, to where he reopened and went with Memphis, but found himself in a position where he had to come from the depth chart and battle his way up. And that's exciting about Rock Taylor, too, that tells you something else. He's not afraid of work. But again, a guy that could be one of the more dangerous players in the ACC last year. So I really, really think that there is a ton of potential there. And the double coverage thing was really crazy when I turned on the tape. How much help they always put over the top on Rock Taylor, because he was really the most dangerous weapon on that football team, and that's kind of where he was, man. So I think that those things be his biggest strengths, man. Good strength, good in the 50-50 ball area. But when you're getting 50-50 balls in the NFL, it's not just immediate. You're going to get them. You're going to get maybe a one or here or there, but you got to prove yourself for those quarterbacks at the NFL level to have enough trust in you to rely on you to go after those 50-50 balls. That's something that has to be built with trust, no doubt about it. But what made him not get drafted, in my opinion, and that was the poor showing at the NFL Combine. He had trouble against man coverage at times also last year. That might be a little bit of an issue, no doubt about that. But hopefully, he starts to learn that separation in man coverage right off the line of scrimmage. You know, that's where he needs to get that separation. I think he has a good, quick first step, but I think he needs to detail that to get that separation. It's just not all about boom, gone fast. Yeah, that helps, but there's movements. There's changes a wide receiver can make in order to get that separation off the line of scrimmage. So I think he needs to work on those things. He needs to work on getting the separation off the line of scrimmage against press man coverage, against man-to-man coverage in general. He needs to do a little bit better there. But I think some of that bad rap against man coverage comes with he faced an extreme amount of double teams. So, maybe that got skewed a little bit, but I still think he needs to work on that. Definitely a guy, though, that had a poor showing. He ranked 39th amongst wide receivers at the Combine whenever you talk about the next-gen stats. So that guy needs a little bit of work. He needs a little bit of refining, and I think that just pushed him off the draft board, man. Those combine skills not being exactly what they were looking for. He didn't do well at the track meet, guys, I guess. Oh well, great. I still think there's potential there. And I still think that there's a great opportunity for Rock Taylor to definitely find a way to contribute somewhere in the 2025 season. Find a way to be involved somewhere, somehow, eventually. I'm not saying he's on the opening day roster or anything like that. I'm just saying I can see a path where Rock Taylor finds his way through the depth chart, maybe due to injury, maybe due to trades, maybe due to whatever. He just navigates his way. He feels like a guy that's going to be able to handle being a depth piece and handle working his way up through that depth chart. So that's definitely something we want to pay attention to with Rock Taylor. Mark Malone puts his comment. I'm going to get a drink here. Mark says, I think Rock can be a hell of a slot guy. Most people say deep threat. I don't see it. He can bully guys over the middle through, though, I think. I think he'd be more fit for the slot too, Mark. I don't think the Steelers need him to be the deep threat. I think they have DK Metcalf. They have Calvin Austin. Those guys are more your deep threat guys right now as the roster is currently constructed. I think you need guys for the middle of the field, slot receivers, guys that can play that bully ball type shit. You're missing that. And I really truly believe you're missing that Hines Ward brand of player, and I'm not saying anybody's going to be exactly like Hines. I'm talking about not afraid to go across the middle, catch those dangerous catches as a wide receiver, risk his body, be able to catch those passes, though, and also have quickness and moves and be able to separate and score from those positions or have big gains when they make those quick catches over the middle of the field. Those slant routes, those drags, and things of that nature. That's what you're looking for, man. You're looking for a guy tough that wants to go over the middle and to make those big time catches for your Steelers. What's up, Aaron Jade? Here we go. Za, one more should do it. Can we turn Connor Hayward to a wideout? Connor Hayward, man, I just think he's going to find his way off the roster right now. I think that the guy we're going to talk about third today in this show is going to be the guy that takes his spot and kicks Connor Hayward off the roster. But we'll see about all of that. We did have some gifted memberships coming in from JD. Thank you, JD. Mic Drop memberships gifted by JD. That's 10 Mic Drop Sports memberships. We truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you, JD. Thank you, my friend. Definitely awesome. And everybody that became a new member, we truly appreciate that. Definitely, we'll put some of you up there. Definitely to see you. Some of you look familiar. What's up, Fly Boy? Paranormal in the Funhouse, Geo, Stewart, Alan Dennison. Good to see you guys in the chat and that you were gifted a Mic Drop Sports membership. But back to Zah's comment about Connor Hayward. I think there's a guy that's in this that we'll move to next. Now that we talked about Rock Taylor, I want to bring up DJ Thomas Jones, and that was brought up also by Jay yesterday, and we're going to bring it up again today. So thanks to Jay for bringing that up also. But we're going to go over this DJ Thomas Jones. He's a hybrid tight end, fullback guy out of South Alabama. Big body dude, 6'2", 250. Definitely a guy that can make this roster, in my opinion. A guy that I think definitely has what it takes to make this roster in terms of toughness, blocking ability. Guys, he blows people up off the line of scrimmage. He doesn't have many downs and reps inside of the 3-point stance. That's not concerning for me because I think that can be that is what it is. He'll figure that out. But I really truly believe he could play that fullback role. He can catch out of the backfield, but I got to caution you this, guys. He doesn't have a very big route tree. It's pretty limited. That's the bad part about DJ Thomas Jones. What he can do, though, is be a check down guy. He could be an initial blocker, release when there's trouble, get out in the flat, make a catch. He does got some soft hands for that. So definitely a guy that you could count on to be that safety valve, perhaps maybe even doing a little bit of a drag routes across the field and hopefully be a safety valve on those rollout passes and things of that nature. But I think as a blocker, this guy is really, really, really good at that. The only problem I have in his blocking is when he gets up into the second level and things, he slides off the blocks too quickly. And I think he needs to slow that down, stay on those blocks a little bit longer. But again, at that first level, that first contact, he has super quick hands, super good strength. He just bowls people over. And I think he's a sleeper pick to replace a guy like Connor Hayward, who, honestly, man, I just am not. I had high hopes for Connor Hayward, guys. I did. But, man, 6 foot, he's just not big enough. And he's not creating the opportunities for himself. And you can say, yeah, they don't give him a ton of opportunities. But you got to create those opportunities for yourself. You can't wait around for people to create opportunities for you. You can't wait around for coaches to call your name. No, you got to go out there and practice and show out. You got to go out there when you're on playing on special teams and make spectacular plays. Anytime you do get a rep offensively, even if you're not getting the football, you got to go out there and you got to bust somebody's ass, man. You got to make it known on tape that you're out there playing, man. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. And I thought he would be able to. I really did. I thought he'd come from a long line, a good bloodline of NFL football players with Ironhead, his pops, and his brother Cam. The immortal one that's playing at a high level last year, and hopefully again this year, especially with the new young talent that's been inserted. That could really mean good things. So this guy, I think, pushes Connor Heyward out. But the only thing that could save Connor Heyward is DJ Thomas Jones has very, very limited reps as a special teamer. Maybe that affects him in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. But I think he can learn special teams. I think he could be a valuable asset in the blocking game. I just think that this guy from South Alabama could be a Pittsburgh Steeler in 2025 at some point during the season. And again, guys, these guys I'm saying right now that I'm talking about, I'm not saying they're day one starters or week one roster guys. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at some point during the season, I could see them making a contribution. Also, I want to say forgive me if you hear a lawnmower running. My neighbor, he cuts his grass like once a month, and he decided to cut it on a rainy, wet, nasty, cold day for some odd reason. So he's probably out there hacking it up, spitting grass all over my beautiful lawn. Whatever. So I'll have to go out there and rake it in the rain or something because people are morons. But we'll see, man. Let's dive through the rest of this chat. Jay says his film looked solid. Didn't really show his blocking skills and nunchuck skills. Thanks again to JD for gifting those memberships. M Sparks. He says, good luck, Rock. If he is a real dog, he will get his bone or back to the pound. I hear you, man. Let's keep going. What's up? What's up, Big B? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. JD is the MVP. JD is the MVP. We love JD. He's been quite a contributor lately. We really, truly appreciate that. Well, frankly, he's always been a contributor. He's definitely always been part of our OG group here at the channel, man. Rob Lightfoot. Hey, Big B, he's talking about your Thunderbird. I did mention, Big B, you're going to come on over here and we're going to talk about the state of the AFC North next Wednesday, so everybody can look forward to that. I know you guys love to see Big B, so make sure you guys go over and support Brian and what they do over at Steelers Almighty. I truly appreciate that from you guys. Tomlin loves nepotism. I get it, man. I get it. You know, though, I gotta say this. You could say Tomlin likes that shit. I get it, but I don't fault Tomlin for bringing in people that are family members or anything like that. I don't, and I don't fault them. I don't fault the Steelers also for doing this, and I don't even think people really notice this, but I've noticed it. Their draft when they're doing these drafts, I'll see two guys from the same school. You know, I'll see. Maybe a brother get drafted to the team, a family member of some sort. I'll see guys that are familiar with each other. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, Jumpin' Joe. And I see what you're saying. I get it. But I don't think it's a bad thing to bring people in that are familiar with each other. I don't. I think being comfortable is the biggest thing that they could do in my eyes. I think being comfortable with your teammates and having somebody you know just makes you get acclimated to your surroundings and makes you more comfortable inside of that building quicker. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off with that, but who knows? I don't mind it as bad at all. You guys are alcoholics, bro. Every time I watch B and watch you guys over there, y'all are always talking about some liquor. Y'all get shitty, don't you? Y'all get tore up from the floor up. I can feel it now, man. I can see y'all on a Saturday night. Y'all are probably twisted. When training camp's going on or next year during the draft, I hope a lot of you make the journey, man, make the pilgrimage to the city of Pittsburgh, and we need to have, I mean, a banger, one for the books, man. Bring in all these people, all you guys that are always talking about the liquor and shit. We need to have a banger, man. And I don't even party very often, very, very seldom. But I'll break one out. I'll tie one on with you guys. That'll be fun, man. Zah says faded Friday. Y'all are getting faded. Y'all are alcoholics, man. I'm telling you. What Armand says, some asshole edging yards now. Yeah, he's pissing me off too. I was about to open the window and say something. Jim D says, reports today by 93.7 The Fan and Noah on All Steelers Talk. Rodgers spotted leaving hotel in the Strip District at 6:35 this morning in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Jim, I could have reported on that. I heard that. I don't play into all that bullshit. Listen, I got to be real with you, Jim. And it's fine to bring it up. It's fine to bring it up, and it's fine to talk about it. And I'm not like saying it's not, because it's a story. It is. But either the guy signs or he doesn't. I don't give a shit where he's at. I really don't. And that's not Jason being rude or anything like that. He's a grown-ass man with a lot of money. Do you, bro. I don't care what you do. Until you sign your name on the dotted line, it means nothing to me. It means zero. Because what the Steelers have on this roster right now are Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, sorry, I forgot his name, and Skylar Thompson. And those are the quarterbacks that I know to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Until Aaron signs, he could be in Pittsburgh all he wants playing grab ass. I don't care. Again, until he is a Pittsburgh Steeler, I don't care. And here's another thing. If he was spotted at 6:35 a.m. in the city of Pittsburgh leaving a hotel, guys, there's too many people down there with camera phones, too many people out there that are reporters, too many people that would have been on the prowl. You'd have seen another picture. That's just my theory. I may be wrong. And again, Jim D brings up something that is news, that he was supposedly spotted. But yeah, these guys can report this. 93.7 The Fan, those guys over at All Steelers, that's all they've been talking about all offseason is Aaron Rodgers, you know, and I think there's more important issues here. And I'm not dogging those guys because it is news. I'm not saying anything bad. This isn't Jason knocking anybody. I'm just saying that I think there's a lot of other issues going on with the football team. I think the offensive line's a big story. I think the defensive front's a big story. I think the secondary's a big story. I think the quarterbacks that are in the building are a big story. I think the coaching staff is a big story. Are they going to be able to adjust in 2025 and start to be a little bit more or a little bit less conservative and maybe bring more of the modern game into play? You know, there's a ton of storylines with this football team that don't concern Aaron Rodgers. What are they going to do in the wide receiver room? Is Omar Khan going to dip back into free agency? Is he going to bring somebody in via trade? I seem to be on the trade thing. I think he goes to Green Bay and grabs one of those guys. And I think those are bigger stories than a 40-some-year-old quarterback signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, when I know this to be real truthful fact, that there's a lot of people in that building that don't want Aaron Rodgers to come there. This is more of a Mike Tomlin thing, guys. And this is what Mike wants. And I think Mike got to watch. He got to walk the tightrope with this one. You know, he wanted Russ. He did that. You know, okay. You bring Justin in with it. Now you want Aaron. You know, when's enough? When do you stop band-aiding the position and see what you have in some of the younger guys? You drafted Will Howard. I don't care that he's a 6th-round pick. Once you're on the football team, I don't care where you were drafted. That's irrelevant. Now I want to see, are you a ball player? How are you going to play? See what you got, because you're going to have to do something in 2026, regardless if you have Aaron Rodgers. If you don't believe in Will Howard, you're going to have to make a move in 2026 to go get somebody. That's what, I mean, you need to figure it out. Why keep prolonging the situation? Because I think this is a 9-10 win football team with Mason Rudolph at the helm or Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is good for one more game. Maybe he's an 11 win guy. Maybe. But I think you're in the same ballpark. Why not just start this thing out the rip with Mason Rudolph, allow this thing to go, and, if there's an injury to Mason, see what the young guy got in Will Howard, a guy that really wants to be in the city of Pittsburgh, a guy that was dying, licking his chops to get the playbook. Let him see what he can do, man. I just think there's other options. That's all. And sorry, I got off on the tirade of Aaron Rodgers. All right, guys, I'll get to some of your chat questions. I'll try my best. I heard he was at the... Oh, this is another good one. M. Spark says, you can read that one for yourself. I'll leave it up there. Rob Lightfoot, Jason, have you looked at Debo Williams highlights? I'm telling you, all he ever did for the Gamecocks was make plays when you need one big time. He's making our team. No, I haven't broke them all down yet. I'm deep diving into these guys that are brought in that weren't drafted. I'm deep diving, and I really have deep dived over the last 2 days on these players, DJ Thomas Jones and Rock Taylor. And I'm going to talk about the second guy in that list also that I talked about a little bit this morning, another guy that I think can make this team. But we're going to go over them all, Rob, and I have no doubt, and believe you, I know you got good football brains on you, so I know you know what you're talking about when you see somebody. I heard Rodgers was spotted down at Permani's. Had slaw on his shirt, they said. Those are good ones. Now, when you make fun of it, I like it, guys. That's awesome. All right, let's keep going. Craig Werlow in the house. Another one has cropped up with wide receiver Scary Terry since he has only 1 year on contract, plus Washington drafting another wide receiver. I see that, but here's what I say to that, Craig. And maybe I'm wrong with this too. I don't know if you're Washington and you got a superstar in Jaden Daniels, the guy that come out and played like he did as a rookie, the best quarterback out of that draft class in my eyes. Jaden Daniels, a real star, a real budding star in this league, has the ability to get through his progressions. His processing speed's good. His football IQ is good. His athleticism is good. I think this guy, the sky's the limit for Jaden Daniels. In my eyes, I think he could be really, really good. And I think he played really good in his rookie year. Why do you take his top target away from him? I don't know if that's something that I'd be interested in doing if I'm the Washington Commanders. But you might be on to something, Craig, here, because that would be a dumbass Washington Commanders type move. I assumed, and this goes out to Boone. Boone, you out there, monsters in my backpack. If you're out there, I don't want to talk too much shit on your Washington Commanders. Guy I coach basketball with, my buddy Boone. I don't want to talk too much shit on your ball club, but what's your opinion if you hear this? Scary Terry gone. But maybe they don't pay him. Maybe the Commanders aren't done making dumbass moves. Maybe they'll revert back to that Dan Snyder type era. I don't know. But the Washington Commanders, I thought, had moved on from making dumbass moves, but we'll see. But, man, I would welcome Scary Terry McLaurin in a heartbeat over to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because McLaurin, Metcalf, ooh, shit. Austin, Roman Wilson, Robert Woods, maybe add a little sprinkle of Rock Taylor in on that. Ooh, shit. I like that. That sounds like a good wide receiver room. All right, guys, we are going to continue with this show. We got a good show as always, so stay watching here at Mike Drop Sports. Always an awesome show. We truly appreciate it, and it wouldn't be awesome without you guys. You guys are the absolute reason why the show is always awesome. So thank you for joining in. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the show. We truly appreciate that. Super chats, get your comment, bam, instantly read, and they help support the channel greatly. Memberships are at the bottom of the screen, 99 cents per month. Don't forget those. Those are absolutely awesome. And we thank JD for those 10 gifted Mic Drop Sports memberships. We are about to hit 100 members right now on the channel. We are almost there. We need about, I think, like another 15, 16, something like that. That was the last count before I come onto the show and after JD gave those 10. So we need about another 15, 16. And I think we'll hit that number of 100. I'm pretty sure if I remember. I heard Josh Allen decided he wanted to come to Pittsburgh when he turns 42. That's a good one, man. Rodgers had the munchies. He might have. He might have been down the strip. Guys, I was just down there for a ball game, dude, and I was on Market Street and down, all over the place trying to find a Starbucks. And every Starbucks I tried to order my coffee at didn't have something that I wanted in my coffee, so I had to go on to the next one. Lucky there's one on every freaking block there. But I was all over the place down there, and you know what? I didn't spot Aaron Rodgers. Rob Lightfoot says Sebastian Castro. Yes, that's the next one I'm going to talk about. John Pell says it ends in the 2026 draft. We'll see. Jim D, no way Washington getting rid of the best receiver who had 1,200 yards and 14 TDs. No way. That's what I would say, Jim. I'm kind of in your camp on that one. Rodgers okay on Rogan. He came off well. Yeah, he wasn't bad in that interview. I didn't watch it all, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is in a bad spot in his life. I don't. I think that this would probably be one of the better times to get Aaron Rodgers in terms of such a clear-minded guy right now. And I know he got a lot going on in his personal life, but I think he has a lot of clarity. But here's the thing, man. I want a guy that's committed. And if he can't be committed, I just ain't into it. Yep, I called Jaden Daniels as well. I was didn't have a chance to get him. Yeah, I was pissed too that the Steelers didn't have a chance. That would have been nice to get him. McLaurin is going nowhere. Robert Road in the house. Good to see you, Robert. Scary Terry has produced big time with a bunch of different quarterbacks. No way in hell will the Redskins trade Terry. Yeah, I hope not. Well, I hope they do, but I doubt it either. Jumpin' Joe says Robert Woods waste of money. I think you're wrong there, bro. Yeah, I definitely think you're wrong there. Robert Woods is a guy that's a veteran presence, and that's what you needed to add in and start to fill out that wide receiver room with a guy that you're going to get 30, 35 catches from, guaranteed, for sure. A guy that can get open in this league, a guy that can block, a guy that can block downfield, a guy that understands NFL schematics at a good pace. He understands it. He knows what to do. Robert Woods, good player, not a bad player. Yeah, would we have liked Robert Woods a couple years ago better than you would like Robert Woods now? Absolutely. But I definitely don't think it was a waste of money. I think it was a really good pickup. Glad you put the comments front and center. That's from Jumpin' Joe. Awesome, man. I'm glad you like it. I'm going to increase the font size a little bit more, so my boy JD can see it. Jay, I like old Seabass. This kid is for real. I hope so. Yeah. If any of you watch NASCAR, I want to just say this for Will Howard. This is what I want to say for Will Howard. Ryan Blaney is my new favorite race car driver in Cup. Him and Kyle Busch right now. I used to be only Earnhardt, but I don't have an Earnhardt in the series right now. But Ryan Blaney's my guy, and the saying is Ryan effing Blaney, baby. That's what I like that, and I want to use that for Will Howard. That's what I want to use for Will Howard. Will effing Howard, baby. That's just, I don't know why, it just fits. Big Tom Ford, ain't no party like a Diddy party. Ford, what is up, man? He says, "What's up, Jason, and everyone else in the chat?" Everybody sleeping on my boy Mason. Yes. Yeah, except for us. True. I like Mason. I don't think he's a Super Bowl winner quarterback, but JD coming in with more gifted Mike Drop Sports memberships from our boy JD. We truly appreciate that. JD gives 10 Mike Drop Sports memberships, bringing his membership count for gifted memberships tonight up to 20 memberships. Absolutely humbled and truly appreciate JD and his support of the channel here at Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Some of the people that did get Mike Drop Sports memberships, welcome. The bro Barian, what's up? The Key Man, what's up? Juice Bellamy, what's up? Russ B, what's up? Rob Lightfoot in the house says AR is a man with something to prove. The Jets lit the fire. That's from Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he is. Maybe he is, man. I would love a super motivated Aaron Rodgers to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would like that, but what are you going to get? You know, that's the thing, man. Another member, Braxton Bailey, Zoo86, Mads, G230, Craig Saxon, a gifted membership by JD. Make sure you guys thank JD for those gifted memberships here at Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. We truly, truly appreciate that. Mark Malone, I never paid attention to Rodgers before, but every time I've seen him, he comes across as a no BS dude. It's just guys with super high estrogen levels that are getting all bent out of shape by the media. Yeah, I would agree with your comment, man. Absolutely, Mark. And here's my thing. Again, guys, I gotta emphasize this. Until Aaron's on the roster, I'm not Aaron Rodgers watching. I don't watch other men walk around town. I don't. That ain't Jason. That ain't what I do. But it is what it is. If he comes, cool, man. I hope he does really, really well. Tom, ain't no party like a Diddy party. Ford says Robert Woods used to be good, but not so much now. I think he's declined, definitely, but I think he could be a major contributor still for the Steelers team. He's a veteran, man. 30, 35 catches. That's all you're asking from a guy that's going to probably be third, fourth on the depth chart, probably like fourth, maybe even fifth on the depth chart. Can Will Howard hit the sideline out? Could be pick six in the NFL. Yeah, that's a good question, Jumpin' Joe. And I had that same question when they drafted him. From what I saw on the tape, I had that same question. And we asked that when we were doing our draft show at Steelers Almighty. And that question was answered over there by Big G and Big B because they both seen him pretty intimately play. Kansas State, their fans there. Well, Big B is, and Big G has ties to the Ohio State program, so he's got to see Will Howard and kind of understand what the schematics look like offensively for your Ohio State Buckeyes. So that was explained to me as it was more of a schematics issue as opposed to a Will Howard issue and lack of arm strength. It was more the way the progressions are asked to be read by their quarterbacks. I believe how he explained to me was they were asking Will to read from the inside out instead of from the outside in. So not exactly sure how that really affected him, but that's how it was explained to me, that it was more of a schematics issue as opposed to a Will Howard issue. I still feel like he has good enough arm strength to make all the throws. I still think he can zip the football in there, and that's the most important thing. And I think he is very smart in his progressions, and I don't think he would be throwing continual pick sixes due to an out route. Jay Hook in the house. Hello, all. Just got home and tuned in. Good to see everyone. Good to see you, Jay Hook. Guys, that is Jay Hook. He is responsible for our intro, outro, and we truly, truly appreciate Jay Hook. Jim D says, some channels saying Steelers going after Mechie. Would you trade for Mechie even though he has leukemia? The answer is no, and this was a topic of discussion last year. And I thought they were going to go get him last year, and I was on board with it. But I think the Steelers can get tremendous value somewhere else for somebody better. I look at the wide receiver room in Green Bay, and I think the Steelers could easily get a deal done there and not be overspending and reaching there, getting too crazy, gaining one of those top shelf guys. Dobbs may be a guy that could be over here lickety split. We don't know. But I would rather just, if it came down to Mechie, I'd rather not trade. I'd rather just get an Amari Cooper or somebody off the free agency market and roll with the rest of the guys that we got. That's how I would like to handle it. I don't want to trade for just regular talent, guys. I just don't. That's not how I want to do that. If I'm going to make a trade, I want to make a substantial upgrade. If I'm going to make a trade, I don't want it to be a lateral or less than lateral move. It doesn't make sense to do that. And I think Mechie, my friend, is a lateral move or less than lateral move. I like him. I think he's a good player, and I wish him all the best. It's a bummer he had leukemia, and maybe he still does. But I just think it's a lateral move, and you already got guys like Mechie. Yeah, Will Howard has nice intangibles. Hope he does work out. M. Sparks. Mechie doesn't have size. No, you're right. Big pun in the house. I'd be offering Detroit a second for Jamison Williams. Here's the thing, and I want to give you guys some of this too before we move on too far in the chat. Definitely. But I want to say this. The Steelers can make a trade, and if they did go after somebody that would demand a second round pick, they can do that because they have enough draft capital on the back end, third, fourth, fifth round picks, that it would take to trade back up into the second round if they really, really wanted to. But what your question is that you have to ask yourself when you make those trades is the player you're getting okay with you in your head to be your second round pick? Like when they traded for DK Metcalf in the offseason, they were perfectly fine with DK Metcalf being their 2025 second round pick. That's how you have to look at it, guys. And again, the Steelers have a tremendous amount of value still in terms of draft capital. And that will push them to hopefully make a move here because they have the realization that they can make moves inside of the 2026 draft. They can jump around and go after players that they really, really highly covet. Not yet. I don't believe JD. I'd have to add it up. We're close though, buddy. And I appreciate your efforts. 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, man. But we are damn close, JD. If we haven't hit it, we're damn close. Sorry, guys. I had a phone call there. Hold on, guys. Let me get my. There we go. I had to
Power takes an approach as a coach.
It's a field back block, and that's